Hello and welcome to this special Inside Bengaluru show. My guest is the person who has put Bangalore on the global map, who has put the Indian IT industry on the global map, Mr. Narayana Murthy. Mr. Narayana, thank you very much, sir, for joining us. Well, this is the Inside Bengaluru week for us. What made Bangalore tick? I mean, how is it that other cities with a much longer history of commerce and capital investment didn't quite make the cut as much as Bangalore did and you guys did in the 90s?
Because of the salubrious climate, because Bangalore was at a very strategic location vis-a-vis our borders, because Bangalore produced, or Karnataka produced excellent engineering talent, the government of India started LRD, it started CIL, it started BEL, many electronic and aircraft oriented companies here. And when the IT industry started its initial years, we first started in Pune. As you know, Infosys was founded in Pune. But pretty quickly we realized that while it was okay for the senior guys to either rent a house or buy a house, for the young engineers it was almost impossible for a very simple reason. Maharashtra had the Rent Control Act, which was very draconian, and which said if you occupy a place as a rentee for 7 years, then you could even claim that
ownership.
Or claim ownership. That meant most of the people were not ready to rent their apartments. Unfortunately, in Karnataka, such a thing didn't exist. Karnataka, it was very easy. In Bangalore, particularly, it was very easy to rent a place, and then the courts always decided, you know, in a fair way in favor of the landlord after giving a reasonable time for the rentee to think. These were all the factors that contributed for us to move from Pune to Bangalore.
Do you think is the next major wealth creating industry or sector or subsector like IT was in the 90s? Is it e-commerce or is it something else?
Well, I think Internet of Things has to play a major role in helping other sectors of our economy, the manufacturing sector, leverage the power of IT, power of Internet. So therefore, I would expect Internet of Things to be the area that will provide opportunities for our IT companies, not just in India, but throughout the globe, because that's what will provide the next level of innovation for other sectors of the economy, leveraging the power of Internet.
But are you satisfied? For instance, e-commerce is an obvious offshoot of this foundation, the Internet of Things. Are you satisfied and happy with the way it has grown? Is it looking like the next wealth generator or the next job generator?
No, you see, the reality is simply this. Even in the IT sector, let's remember that there was only one company which distributed wealth to its employees in a big way. It is Infosys. I think at today's prices we distribute about $11 billion. But no other company has done even in the IT sector. So therefore it depends upon the founders of these companies, what their mindset is, how they want to distribute the wealth that they create. It is not limited to IT sector or any sector. It can happen in any sector.
No, but wealth generation perhaps is a more specific way of putting it. It was also a job generator. I mean, it was wealth generator for the nation in that sense, not just the stock investors.
Absolutely.
What is that next idea which may generate that kind of jobs, that kind of economic growth?
Well, if Digital India were to succeed, if it becomes easy to work with the government, if government were to accept the international standards of contracts in software development, in accepting the software that the companies develop, if they pay on time, etc., etc., then I believe in Digital India will become a very, very important instrument for creating large number of jobs. Digital India will start opportunities for applications in local languages, in Hindi, in Kannada, in Tamil, Bengali, etc., etc. But the important requirement is the contractual clauses that are insisted on by the government should be in line with contractual clauses insisted on by the foreign corporations, simply because Indian companies derive 90 to 98% of the revenue from these corporations, yes, and the prices are very attractive outside India. So therefore, unless Government of India comes out with reasonably attractive and competitive set of clauses, I am not very sure if the large companies will be keen on working with the government.
Price will be the big thing.
Not just price. Price is one, but payment on time, accepting software on time, not changing requirements midstream, and not allocating enough time to define requirements, and of course, in some cases, not insisting on corruption, etc., etc. If those things are all adhered to, I have no doubt at all that the entire IT industry will rally behind the government in making Digital India a success.
But at the moment, you see margins within India lower than margins outside
No,
India.
not lower. I don't know if, certainly I know about Infosys, there is not a single project Infosys has done, and I believe the same story, where the company has not lost money. That's the reality. Okay. When dealing with governments, whether it's state government or central government, that's the same.
You end up losing money.
Of course, of course. I mean, you can talk to other companies too, I'm sure.
We hear that, and of course infrastructure and other non-IT areas, but is that the experience in IT as well?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
So what is the do's and don'ts for the government in that case if it wants to make this mission succeed?
No, I already said, the reality is the government will have to take a contract that is considered fair to both the government and the private companies from an international corporation, or of course from Indian companies, and then say, let us be fair to ourselves and fair to the parties. Let us make sure that we are reasonable in our expectations. Let us make sure that we show our commitment to completion of the project. Let us allocate enough time of our officers to define the problem properly. Let us make sure that we take accountability for success in the project. Let's make sure that the hardware is delivered on time. Let's make sure that the software is accepted on time. Let us make sure that there are no unnecessary unfair penalties.
But if the record is so poor so far, you think that there is a need for some external committee or some advisory committee? Otherwise, it might go the way it has gone all the way.
Yeah, I'm sure government is smart enough to know all of this, but the reality is certainly in so far as I know the status today, I don't think there has been any project that has made money in dealing with both the state governments and the central government for companies in India, IT companies.
Okay.
I may be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but I think in the case of Infosys, as long as I have to be there, that was the case.
Okay.
Now maybe the story is different.
Okay. We'll have to wait and see. Upfront Digital India is only an idea at this point in time. Let's see how it takes.
But it's a great idea. It has potential to make the life of every Indian better. It makes life more comfortable. It provides better transparency, better accountability. All of that is there, but making sure that extraordinary initiative succeeds requires a commitment on the part of the government and on the part of the private sector companies, IT companies. But to do that, there will have to be a fair contract between the two, and that contract must be honored by the government.
Let me take a break at this point and then come to an issue that you raised a few days ago about the lack of innovation in India. We're back in a minute with a lot more interesting questions to the doyen of Indian IT sector, Mr. Narayana.